Kadosh Boker Tov, we're going to continue with Daf Tzadik Zayin Amud Aleph 97a1. The Gemara says that we learned from a Gezerah Shavah. That's where we learned that Slovchad was the Masechet Shabbat Daf. It's something incredible that you have to remember. We're always trying to connect the parasha to what we're learning. It's actually a very nice inyan. In Eretz Yisrael, it's Parashat Shelach. The entire here, it's Be'alotecha, because we're 1 week behind Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, there in Parashat Be'alotecha is the entire story of Masechet Shabbat Daf. So here it says he learned from a Gezerah Shavah that the Masechet Shabbat Daf was Slovchad, and therefore, right, and Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah didn't learn the Gezerah Shavah. So therefore, according to Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah, that's why he says, I don't understand what's going on. But according to Rabbi Kiva, he did learn. It was written in Furash, the entire concept of the Masechet Shabbat Daf. Ela mehecha hava. According to Shtat Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah, right, where was Slovchad? With what chet did he die? So it says, Mi vayapilu hava. He was from the Mapilim. After the story of the Meraglim, right, there was the Mapilim. The Mapilim were people that they went up on the mountain, okay, and what they did is that they wanted to do war and to go into Eretz Yisrael, and a lot of people were all killed out. So according to Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah, Slovchad was not killed because of Masechet Shabbat Daf, he was killed because of the Mapilim. He was killed because he went up and he wanted to wage war and to Eretz Yisrael, to go into Eretz Yisrael not at the proper time. Okay? So the same thing you see at Omer, Vayicharaf Hashem bam vayelach. What does that mean? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very upset with them and he left. There we're talking about at the end of this week's parasha, so this Be'alotecha. At the end of this week's parasha, it's written that Moshe and not Moshe, Aharon and Miriam was speaking negatively about her brother Moshe Rabbeinu. And then what happened was she got sara'at, she got leprosy. So the Gemara is saying, when it says Vayichar bam vayilach, that Hashem got upset at them and he left. And then it says that the Enan, the cloud, went away from the Ol Moed and Miriam got leprosy. Milamed she'af Aaron needs tzara. According to Rabbi Kiva, even Aaron HaKohen also got tzaraat. So Amalo Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah said Yehuda ben Akiva, says what? You're going to get punished for this. He says, why? He says, if it's going to be like your words, HaTorah kisato ve'ata megaleoto. Well, the Torah didn't say anything and now you're going to be revealing it. And if it wasn't him, if it wasn't that Aaron HaKohen got leprosy, you're being motzi lazar, not Aaron HaKohen. So says the Gemara, no. Ve'ela haktiv bam. It's written that Hashem got upset at them. Bam. Vayicharaf Hashem bam vayilach. You got to upset both of them. So answers the Gemara, Ha'u be'nezifa be'alma. According to Rabbi Yehuda ben Terah, he didn't get upset at both of them, that he gave them both leprosy. Ela b'ma be'nezifa. Be'nezifa means is that he got upset at them, that he told them off. Like he got very angry at them. It's called nezifa. Right? So Tanya Kiman Amar, we learned a Braita, like according to Mandamar, Af Aaron nitzara. That also Aaron had sarat. Ichti vayifen Aaron aminyam minem et sorat. Tana shepanam nitzarato. He turned from his own leprosy. And then he realized that she also had leprosy, which means, right, that he was healed from his leprosy, but Miriam stayed with her leprosy. Okay? So Amar Shakish says, Shakish, HaChoshed b'ksherim, lokeh b'gufo. If somebody is going to be lokeh b'ksherim, if somebody is going to choshed b'ksherim, which means that he is suspecting somebody in vain, somebody kosher, that in vain, lokeh b'gufo. He's going to be lokeh, he's going to get lashes with his body. Tichtiv v'hen lo yaminu li. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, Bnei Yisrael are not going to believe me if I'm going to tell them that, that you came to me and spoke to me. He says, no. He says, what? It was revealed in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu whether they were going to believe him or not. Amar lo said HaKadosh Baruch Hu, hen maminim b'nei maminim. Bnei Yisrael are believers, children of believers. Ve'ata en sofcha lamin. But you're not going to believe in the true emunah, the way that you're supposed to believe. Hen maminim dichtiv ve'amen ha'am. B'nei maminim b'zetzutim ve'amin b'Hashem. כמו Avraham Avinu emunah in Hashem. Ata sofcha lamin, but you in the end are not going to have believing. Shneimar ya lo emantem bi. You didn't believe me. By the chet memriva, you didn't believe me. Right? So therefore, since you didn't believe me, so says Moshe Rabbeinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Moshe Rabbeinu, you are coming and you're speaking against the Jewish nation, saying they're not going to believe you. They are believers, the children of believers. But you are not going to believe at the end. At times, why? Ya lo emantem bi. You didn't believe me. Laktisheni b'midbar. Umimai dilakas. So how do we know that Moshe Rabbeinu had tzarat? Tichtiv yom Hashem lo od avnei yedecha b'chekecha. Put your hand in your bosom, and then v'tzorat kasheleg le'tzarat. He gave him the hint of tzarat. You're going to be choshed b'ksherim. You're going to come and you're going to say, and you're going to suspect in innocent people with their kosher, you're going to be lokeh b'gufo. So Amar Rav says, V'item Rav Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Someone says Rav Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Midat tova mimaher lavo midat puranut. Good things always come quicker than bad things. Ni'ilu midat puranut, it's written, Vayotziah, he took it out, and then his hand was in tzora kashale. But by good things, midat tova, it's written, Vayotziah mecheko v'neshava kivsaro. Mecheko, from mecheko, shava kivsaro. Meaning by the bad, it was only when he took his hand out, now he's got leprosy. To do the good, he put his hand back, already now he got rid of it. He didn't have to take it out. The second he put it back, he already got cured. Okay? Then it says, the staff of Aaron swallowed their mateh, swallowed their staff. Amar Bilazar says, Bilazar, it was a nes b'toch nes. It was a miracle with another miracle. Because at the beginning, right, it turned into a snake. Then it turned back into a staff, and the staff swallowed the other staffs. Meaning it didn't swallow it when it was a snake, which you could understand. When it became a staff, now the staff swallowed the other staffs. It was a nes b'toch nes, a miracle from another miracle. Okay? Fine. 2 dots. Hazorek mirshut hayachid l'reshut hayachid. If you're going to throw from one private domain to another private domain, and there's a reshut rabim in the middle, okay, so Rabbi Akiva says you're going to be chayav, Chachamim say you're going to be patur. So Rabba comes and he asks, Lemata me'asara plige, right? Obviously, we're talking about a below 10 tfachim, and that's what the machloket is. Because remember, below 10 tfachim, it's like it's on the ground. Ubeha plige, and this is what the argument is. The more savarabni and klutak mishulcha, that we say that is it considered that it's already on the floor, right? Umor savar, and the other one says, lo, we don't say kluta. Which means that we don't say that if it's in the air, it's on the floor. But above 10 tvachim, according to everybody, you're going to be patur. We're not going to learn zorek mimoshit, throwing from extending. That's what we're trying to say over here. Right? Odilmar maybe lemala me'asara plig. Above 10 is the machloket between them. Ubeha plig, this is the machloket. The more savar, that one of them holds yalfin and zorek mimoshit. We're learning throwing from extending. We don't learn it. But if it's going to be less than 10 tvachim, everybody says that you're going to be chayav. Right? My time, what's the reasoning? So that was the question of Rabbah. Is the machloket above 10 tvachim, but below 10 tvachim according to everybody? Or is the machloket below, but according to everybody above is patur? That's a machloket. The machloket, that's the question that he was asking. So Amar Rav Yosef comes and he wants to answer. So this was a question also of Rav Chasta, the same question. But Rav Amnuna was the one that came and he answered the question. When it's going from one Reshut Rabim to another Reshut, from one Reshut Yachid to another Reshut Yachid, and it's going through the Reshut Rabim itself, Rabbi Akiva mechayev hachachamim potrim. Rabbi Akiva is going to obligate you, right? And the Chachamim say it's going to be patur. The fact that it said there, again, one more time, what did it say there? You're talking about taking out from Reshut Yachid to Reshut Yachid. Ve'over b'Reshut Rabim atzma. Remember those words. You're going through Reshut Rabim itself. So for the fact that it says Reshut Rabim atzma, pshita lemata masara pli. Obviously, we're talking about that it was below 10 tfachim. Uvemai. And what are we dealing with? If you're telling me they're just going for a molten Reshut Rabim, right? So lemata me'asara udo mechayev. Only below asara you're going to be chayav. Lemala me'asara udo mechayev. But if you do it above 10, it's makom ptur. You're going to be exempt. V'hamar Rabbi Elazar, says Rabbi Elazar, hamotze masui lemala me'asara. If you took out a transport, you transported something above 10 tfachim, you're going to be chayav. Shekem masa b'nei kat, because that was b'nei kat. Remember, in last week's parashat Naso, b'nei kat carried things on their shoulders, which was above 10 tfachim, above 10 tfachim. Elalav, but rather, bezorek, we're talking about throwing. למטה מעשרה עוד מחייב. Only if you throw it, you're going to be חייב. But if it's going to be above עשרה, לא מחייב. You're not going to be חייב. שמע מינה, we learn from here, בקלוטה כמה שהונחה פליגה, שמע מינה. So the מחלוקת between Rabbi Akiva and חכמים is, do we say קלוטה כמו שהונחה or not? And therefore, we're talking about that for sure the machloket is underneath 10 tefachim. Above 10 tefachim, according to everybody, you're going to be patur. Okay? However, though, this argues on Rabbi Elazar. Upliga to Rabbi Elazar. This argues on Rabbi Elazar. The Amar Rabbi Elazar says Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Akiva used to obligate afilu l'malam asara, even above asara. The high telling that which we learned to the Shuta Rabbi Matzma, le'odiacha kochan derabanan. This is going to teach you the koach, the strength of the rabbis. Upliga de Rav Chilkiah bar Tuve. It's going to argue on Rav Chilkiah bar Tuve. The Amar Rav Chilkiah bar Tuve says Rav Chilkiah bar Tuve, toch shlosha divra kol chayav. If it's within 3 tvachim from the ground, according to everybody, you're going to be chayav. The mala me'asara, if it's going to be above asara, divra kol patur. According to everybody, it's going to be patur. Mishlosha ve'ad asara, it's going to be from 3 till 10. Banu nemachloket Rabbi Akiva Rav Rabbanan. We got to the machloket between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbanan. Okay? Fine. Until here we're clear?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, very good.
So far.
Very good. So it says now like this. Tanya Miyachi, we also learned in a Braita. Toch shlosha divra kol chayav. If it's within 3 tvachim from the floor, according to everybody, you're going to be chayav, because that's considered levud. It's mamash connected to the ground. Lemala me'asara, if it's going to be above 10 tvachim, eno la mishum shut. According to everybody, it's a makom patur. So it's only nisur d'Rabbanan. So it's not doraita. Im hayu reshuyot shelo mutar. If it's all in his property, it's mutar. Because then it's reshut echid, reshut echid. Mishlosha v'ad asara. If it's going to be from 3 to 10, the Rabbi Akiva says you're going to be chayav, and Chachamim say you're going to be patur. It was according to Chachamim again. The machloket was, do we say kluta k'mishum chadam or not? That means if it's in the mid-air, does that mean that it actually landed or it didn't land? And that was the machloket between Rabbi Akiva and Chachamim. Rabbi Akiva says chayav. Chachamim say you're going to be patur. So Amar Mor says, if both Reshut Yachids belong to the same person, it's going to be mutar lechatchila to throw from one Reshut Yachid to another Reshut Yachid, even though if it's going to be above 10 tvachim going through the Reshut Rabim. So lema tiyav to the Rav, that's against Rav. The Yitmar Bezu stated, shte batim shne tzidei Reshut Rabim. What happens if I have 2 houses on 2 sides of the Reshut Rabim? One house here, Reshut Rabim in the middle. Okay? Rav Ravuna Rav, asul lizok v'zeluzeh. According to Rav Ravuna Rav, according to Rav, you're not allowed to throw from one house to another house. And Shmuel says you are allowed to throw from one house to another house. So obviously, if you see from here, that's going to be prohibited, according to Rav. So says the Gemara, "Velav miukmina lehi kigon demid lechad mitati lecha." Says one second, are we talking about that one house is taller than the other house? But sometimes it's going to fall, and then it's going to fall in the Reshut Rabim. And then what's going to happen? You're going to come to carry it. That's why it's a sul. Meaning, if it's not on the same level, and I'm going to throw it now, maybe it's going to land in the middle of the Reshut Rabim, and now I'm going to come in and carry it. That's why it's going to be a sul. So Amar Rav Chasta Rav Nuna says Rav Chasta to Rav Nuna. Rav Nuna Rav Chasta says Rav Nuna to Rav Chasta. How do we know these words of the Chachamim? That if it's below 3 tvachim, it's considered levud. Remember, lavud is considered that it's connected to the ground. Amalei, he says, says what? You cannot come and make the Reshut Rabim, which means that's the normal thing of the Reshut Rabim. That sometimes you have like little mounts or little tiny things, and therefore, right, people can carry things on that little tiny thing. So therefore, within 3 tvachim, it's considered the ground. So ask the Gemara, if so, even 3 tvachim should be enough. Why do we only say below 3 tvachim? But 2 and furthermore, Haditran, we learned already in the Mishnah, this is the Mishnah in Sukkah. Imagine you go, and instead of having the walls of the Sukkah from bottom upwards, you have them upwards, downwards. So he said, as long as it's going to be gvoim shoshat tvachim, it's sulah. Meaning, if you have a Sukkah on the top, okay, you have a Sukkah, and what does that mean on the top? The walls do not start from the floor upwards. They start from the ceiling downwards. So if there's more than 3 tvachim from the bottom, the sukkah is psul, because it doesn't have walls. If it's within the 3 tvachim, it's going to be okay. So imhen goyim minar es shosha tvachim psula. Hapachot mishosha, if it's going to be less than 3, it's going to be kshera. Okay? So says the Gemara, hata ma'inu tama, there the reasoning is, Shundavya la mechitza shagdim bokim ba. Because it's going to be considered a mechitza, which the gedi, the kids, could come. We're talking about kids, the animals, yeah, not children. Right? The kids will come and they could go through it very, very quickly. So that's why it's not a mechitza. So that's why he says the reason why the dolphin is going to be kasher, right, when it's going to be less than 3 tvachim, is not because of levud. It was the animals cannot get through. So says the Gemara, 1 second. Tenach lemata, but that's only good if it's going to be on the bottom of the sukkah. Lemala, what are you going to say on the top of the sukkah? Which means you could have the walls coming up, and you don't need the walls going all the way up. So why not? Ela, but rather we answer, no, you're right. Let's go back to the original thought. Kol pachom mishushak levud dami. You're right. Within 3 tvachim from the ground is called levud, and that's halacha Moshe Sinai. That we received as a tradition from Moshe Rabbeinu, and that's why that's the halacha. So therefore, within 3 tvachim from the ground, that's the ground. So you could have a wall from the sukkah starting from 2 tvachim or 2.5 tvachim going up, and on the bottom it's open, and there's no problem. I wouldn't advise it because of the cats and everything else, but I'm saying, but mitzad halacha, you're allowed to. Okay? Fine. Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita. What about the opposite case now? I'm on the Reshut Rabim, and the Reshut Rabim, and there's a Reshut Yechid in the middle. Which means, let's say, I'm just trying to think, Collins and Harding. And the middle is a Reshut Yechid. It's individual, it doesn't belong to the public. So now you throw something from Harding to Collins, or vice versa. So now you have the Reshut Yechid in the middle. Okay? So it says, Rebbe says you're going to be Chayav. Okay? And Chachamim say you're going to be Patur. Why? Because it didn't actually get to the Reshut HaYachid. Rav Shmuel, says Rav and Shmuel, Rebbe only said you're going to be Chayav if the Reshut HaYachid had a roof. Because we said that the house is full until the top. And therefore, when it went through it, it was as if that it landed in the house. But if it's open space, airspace, you're not going to be chayav, even according to Rebbe. Amar of Chana, Amar of Yehuda Meshua. Says Chana of Yehuda Meshua. Rebbe Stein. Rebbe also used to obligate in that case twice. Once because of Otzah, once because of Achnasa, which means I'm in Reshut Rabim. I threw it to the next Reshut Rabim. In the middle was Reshut Yechid. And it's Mekorah, it's got a roof. So therefore, the second that it gets into the Reshut Yechid property, I was Chayav on Hachnasa. The second it continued out to the next Reshut Rabim, I'm Chayav on Otzah, so I'm Chayav Stein. 2 different Tavirot. Otzah and Achnasa. So Yativ Rav Chana Rav Chana was sitting down and he asked, are you going to tell me that he's going to be chayav on talada instead of the av? But Tanya, we learned the opposite. Rebbe says, what does it mean, right? It says, Asher tziva Hashem la'asot otam. What does it mean la'asot otam? Devarim, ele ha-devarim, ha-devarim. What does that mean? Ve'elu 39 melachot shenemru b'Moshe Sinai. The fact that it says ele, right? What is the numerical value of ele? Right? Is the numerical value of 36. Okay? So since ele, aleph is 1, lamed is 30, and he is 5, so it's 36. So since it's written 36, then it says devarim, ha-devarim, ele ha-devarim, like in each one, right? So therefore it's 39. So these are the 39 melachot which were said halacha Moshe Sinai. So it comes out that we're learning from this that if you did all of them in one shot, right, that's what we're saying, right? According to him, you're not going to be chayav separately for a toladah and av, right? It doesn't make sense. So here you have a toladah. Remember, hachnasa, bringing into the house, was toladah. Hotza'ah was an isur. That was the av. So why would you be chayav on both? So I'm going to Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef comes and he answers, Mara hamatnila. The Rav is teaching the bright of Rav. The Rebbe, and you're coming, you're asking contradiction. We're talking about Rabbi Yehuda. Therefore, we didn't have a contradiction. Tanya was learned to the Braita. It's not Rebbe, it's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says you're chayav v'chachamim sektonim. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Meshua said Rabbi Yehuda Meshua, and mechayev Rabbi Yehuda Stein. One because of Otzah, one because of Avara. And therefore, right? It's not otza v'achnasa, it's otza and havara. And because of that, we're not learning Rebbe, so there's no contradiction between Rebbe and Rebbe. Okay? Why? But if you're going to tell me there's only going to be one chatat, what? The rabbi say patur legamre? He's going out from Reshut Yechid to Reshut Rabim. So says the Gemara, 1 second. So that means what? Now you're trying to understand that the rabbis are saying you're chayav one, and Rabbi Yehuda is being chayav twice. So when it says chachamim potrim, potrim doesn't mean patur legamre. It just means you're patur from twice, 2 chatats. So says the Gemara, mimai. Why do you say that? Really, I'm going to tell you, Rabbi Yehuda chada un mechayev. Really, be'emet, Rabbi Yehuda is obligating on one. Rabbanan patur legamre. Rabbanan are saying it's patur legamre. So where do we find this? That until it actually lands in the Reshut Rabim, it should rest there. This is what they're arguing on. Rabbi Yehuda holds that kluta is like it's munach, right? And that's his machshava, meaning that his machshava was that it should rest there. Rabbanan Savra, according to the rabbis, they don't say kluta kimin shulcha. Again, according to Chachamim, they don't say that if it's in mid-air, it's like it's landed on the floor. And it didn't actually get there. He did was his machshava was not fulfilled. But however, you're right. He's not going to be chayev because of the av and the toladah instead of the av. So says the Gemara, lo sal kadaitach. The Tanya we learned to the Braita. Rabbi Yehuda mosif af hashovet b'mdaktek. Rabbi Yehuda is mosif on the 39 melachot 2 other right melachot, which was one of them is shovet, which is basically taking something between 2 different chutim in order to separate them and make them straight. I don't know how you say that in English. To straighten the lines, the linens or the threads. That's the word. Okay? V'amdaktek. What is matadek? Makeh barigak l'shvota. You're hitting on top of something that was woven in order to make it straight. So amrulo, the rabbis told him shovet is meisach and medaktek is horeg. They're like toladot. Well, why would you have a separate av? My love dav dinin l'tervai, but we're not talking that you did both of them. We're teaching that Yehuda is going to be mechayev a toladah instead of the av. So it says, well, that's not true. Why? Why do you say that? Maybe we're going to say the avda leha lechuda ve'ha lechuda. Each one you're doing on your own. Rabbi Yehuda toladah minkom av lo mechayev. Rabbi Yehuda, he's saying that on toladah instead of the av, you're not going to be mechayev. Ubehaka mipalge. Rabbi Yehuda savar, Rabbi Yehuda holds hani avot ninu, that these are avot. Rabbanan savre hani toladot ninu, these are toladot. Okay? Teda, you should know.
Means that according to Rabbi Yehuda, there is 2 extra from 39 to 41?
Yeah, but if you remember there, we said that you took away other 2. You remember? We learned it there. It was in Ayin Gimel. I don't think we have it here. No,
yes.
In this article, it was a previous one. In Ayin Gimel, if you remember, we said according to Rabbi Yehuda that he wanted to add other 2, he had to take away another 2. You remember that we said that Borer, Zoreh, Merakeh, they were all the same thing.
Yeah, Hata'ot Melachot, yes.
Yeah, so he took out another 2, and therefore it always stayed 39. Okay, fine. But again, according to Rabbi Yehuda, though, these are actually avot, they're not toladot. Okay, fine. So then it says over here, Teida, you should know. Diktani Rabbi Yehuda mosif. Rabbi Yehuda adds shovet umdaktek. If you're going to tell me avot, my mosif avot. Then he added the avot. But if you're going to tell me toladot, my mosif. Meaning the Mishnah never mentioned toladot. So if he added another 2 and those 2 are toladot, what's he adding? He's not adding anything. Then the Mishnah never spoke about toladot. It only spoke about avot. Okay, so Itmar Nami, so that's a proof that he was adding avot. So Itmar Nami was also stated, Rav Yosef Damar Tavayu, Loch Yev Rabbi Yehuda ela achat, that they only obligated to 1. So Amale Rav Yino Ravashi, L'may detzad the Mikara, te mechayev aya Rabbi Yehuda shtayim, according to the Havamina, that Rabbi Yehuda was mechayev twice. Ila hacha kabayle, lahachak lo kabayle. So then if you want, you could, if you wanted to put it down, and then at the end it did fall down, he didn't want it to happen like that. And if he wanted it to rest in the Reshut Rabim, he didn't want it to do it that way either. So meaning that he never had his full intent in it. So why are you going to say that he's going to be chayav twice? So the Gemara answers, you're right. He didn't say, I wanted to go to the other place. He just said, wherever it falls, it falls. By him saying, wherever it falls, he's going to be chayav wherever it falls. If he didn't say that, and he wanted it to fall in the other place, if it fell here, he's going to be patur. Or, you understand, in all these things, it's going to be patur. Okay? So, pshita, obviously, התכוון לזרוק 8 וזרק 4, right? הרי כתב שם משמעון, שם משמעון, right? It says like this, if a person right now, it's obvious, if a person wanted to throw 8 amot in the Reshut Rabim and he only threw 4, he's going to be chayav. And because that's like Shem Mishimon. If you wanted to write the name Shimon and you wrote Shem, right, which is half, but at the end of the day, you should still be chayav. Why? Because even though your kavanah was to do more, right, you're still going to be chayav because you would have anyway been chayav. Whether it was because you wrote 2 letters, right, instead of the 4, or whether it was because you transported 4 instead of 8 in the Reshut Rabim. However, though, what happens if it's the opposite? What happens if you wanted to throw out 4 amot and you only wrote 8? Do we say ha'apikle, that at the end of the day you already went out because of the first 4 and you're chayav? Or at the end of the day, when you were traveling, you wanted to go here, but then you continued. So in the original intent never never took place. So says the Gemara, the lav hainu dama leravinu Ravashi, isn't that the case of Ravinu to Ravashi? The Amalei, we said, beomer kol makom shetirtze lanuach, we already answered. He said wherever it lands, it lands. When you just said that you wrote Shem Mishimon, Shin Mem from Shimon, you were going to continue, but you wrote Shin Mem, that you're going to be chayav. Hatam madelo kativ Shem milo kativ Shimon.
It's going to be hayav of what he wrote or for the total?
I couldn't hear you, sorry?
It's going to be hayav of whatever he wrote?
Yes.
Or the total what he
had?
had?
Minimum amount though. Remember, writing is 2 otiyot, you're already chayav.
Okay, but he's not hayav for every ot and ot.
No.
The rest of the otiyot is dabar shelo ba la'olam.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, Hatam, kama delo ktiv Shem lo mibayle Shimon. If you didn't write Shem, it doesn't exist to write Shimon. Hacha, if you didn't throw 4, you didn't throw 8. So what he's trying to say is, 1 second. If you wanted to write the word Shimon, you have to write Shem first. Shem is Shin Mem, then you continue with the Ayin Vav Nun. Same thing. If you want to throw it 8, it's impossible to throw it 8 if you don't throw it 4 first. Okay? So because of that, that's what we're saying. So he's saying that it's not like it was mitkayem your machshava. Your machshava was not fulfilled. Your mindset was not fulfilled when you threw this. Okay? Fine. Tan Rabbanan, learned another bright. You're going to throw from one Reshut Rabim to another Reshut Rabim. The Reshut Yechid is in the middle. 4 amot, 4 amot. Chayav. You're going to be chayav. Pachot. We're going to go to the 2 dots. Tzadik Chet Amud Aleph, 98a. Pachot me 4 amot. It's going to be less than 4 amot. Patur. My Kamashmanan, what do we come teach you? Kamashmanan comes teach you Reshut Mitzarfot. Right, that the Reshut Rabim is going to connect to the other Reshut Rabim. But the Lo Amrin and Kutaki Mishumcha. We don't say Kutaki Mishumcha Damia, which means that we say that the 2 Reshut Rabim, they combine together. And therefore, right, even if it's going to be less than 4 amot than the Reshut Rabim, right, it's going to be Patur. That means even if you did 2 amot and the one Reshut Rabim and 2 amot and the other Reshut Rabim, they combined and you carried 4 amot in the Reshut Rabim. So the Reshuyot, the different domains, as long as it has the same name, Reshut Rabim, public, so they combine. Right? My Kamash will come teach you. Reshuyot are mitzarfot. However, the lo amrina and kulta ki mishum chadamia. Okay? And Blina, tomorrow we continue.
Hazak Baruch.